what happened, Dan, is Jimmy Buffett died, and it's like, crap, he's not that much older than me, and he had all the money and love in the world.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, I better get going, do something else. This is crazy luxury. I live like a rock star now compared to what I do back home. You're still in touch with your old friends and stuff. We're still talking about the Vikings or whatever with my buddies. And that's the biggest kick, Dan, I get out of traveling is, I'm here and I'm making new friends. I just love meeting new people.
So this is Dan of Vagabond Awake, and today we're lucky to have Cliff. Cliff?
Yep.
Put it there.
Yeah, nice to meet you finally, Dan.
Yeah, so Cliff, what's your home country and where are we sitting right now?
Okay, so I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Right.
And we're sitting in Da Nang, Vietnam, enjoying a nice, one of many coffee shops in Vietnam.
Yeah.
They have great coffee here.
Oh, they do. It's the coffee culture, isn't it?
Yes.
So how long have you been in Vietnam?
Well, about a week and a half. So I'm living in Thailand this winter, but I had to do a visa run. When I come back, I'll have my retirement visa.
Okay.
So I had to get it, the paperwork addressed a certain way or whatever. So, and I wanted to come to Vietnam anyways. So I came to Hanoi, did some stuff around there. Then I came to Da Nang, and then I go back tomorrow to Hanoi, and then goof around a little bit more, and then fly back to Thailand.
And you've been to other countries, haven't you, since you left?
Right. So, I mean, I started late in life traveling. So, I'm not like you, but I've been to France, Colombia, Mexico, Philippines, and Thailand, Kuala Lumpur, briefly. I think it's 30 of the states, but anyways,
cool.
that doesn't count. But for what we're doing,
actually, it does count. I count that. I mean, it's just one country, but it's a beautiful one. So, are you slow traveling now, or how do you, or are you settling down in one country?
This is how I'm going to try and explain it.
Okay.
So 10 years ago, I transferred out to Hawaii to work, and some people, when they land in Hawaii, they say, I should have been born there. For me, it was great, but you're a speck in the big Pacific Ocean, and I got island fever after a year, and I went back. But when I was on the flight back, I said, that worked out really great, because I wish I was like a traveling nurse or engineer, because they stay for 6-9 months somewhere, investigate it, make friends, drill down, enjoy themselves, and then go back home. And I like home, just I want to be gone, in the winters. I'm from Minnesota. So, and I love my friends and family and all that stuff back home. So it was in my mind, and now that I'm retired, that's kind of what I do. So I go to a country and I decide where I want to live, and then I stay there 6 to 9 months. And so every year I pick a different country. So, there might be, I admire you that you do what you do, but that's kind of how I do. And then I like to drill down a little bit more and make friends with my neighbors and things like that. I'm a extrovert, but so I get off the energy of others, right? So yeah.
And so you're sort of you're a snowbird that likes to try a new country every year. Is that
right? So I've lived in my youth. I lived in Phoenix, which is great. In Florida, of course, that's the other place where a lot of Minnesotans go when they retire, snowbird. But I kind of wanted more adventure than that, and I love the lower cost too, right? I mean, this morning I had breakfast, banh mi, and a big tall latte for $2. And you can't even get a cup of coffee for $2 back in America. So
yeah, that's half off in America.
Yeah.
Just for the coffee, no sandwich. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you're kind of like a slow traveler in that when you go to a new country, you look for your favorite place there. So you're moving around. Do you have a base there? And then
So then that's my base, and then I go from there to investigate other places within the region. Obviously, it doesn't make sense to go somewhere else, like to Africa when you're staying here in the Far East.
Yeah.
But so it's kind of like this year. I still have friends in the Philippines, so I'll probably go back to the Philippines and visit some of them. I'm in Vietnam now. Cambodia, of course, we're at war with Thailand, so I'm probably going to skip that. Laos, maybe. And Bali, I guess, is on my checklist too. And then the other thing too is, so I'm a Minnesota Eskimo. So one of the things I want to check out is like Okinawa, just to see if there's a place that's just a little bit cooler, for me. to hang out. Subtropical is okay, but it's just a little bit hot for Minnesota Eskimo. But I can deal with it. But weather's a state of mind.
Yeah, true. And if there's cool water nearby to jump in, and AC, and you stay out of trouble in the middle of the day,
well, Dan, this is I'm staying by Pattaya this year, which, you know, but I'm in Jomtien Beach, which is about 20, 30 minutes away. I'm in a skyscraper, and there's 3 infinity pools, the 30th, 40th, and 60th. There's a swim-up pools in the ground floor with a bar. It's like living in and it's right across from the beach, miles of white sand. So I'm going to be cool this winter. I don't have to worry about the weather. And ocean breeze.
That's amazing. So that's your base, and then you're going to venture out from there.
Right.
So when does as a snowbird, when does it begin and end?
Well, this year So a little history for me is I didn't plan on this, but my neighbor rented out their place when they did a year sabbatical. So I'm renting out. I said, well, that's a good idea, instead of just leaving my place empty. So I'm renting my place, and my tenant renewed. So anyways, I thought this summer I would spend back home, but since he renewed, I spent a couple months back in Minnesota, but it's like, well, I might as well come back out here. Plus the inventory of places to find would probably be better. So that real expensive place like Miami Beach, it would be probably $10,000 a month. I'm getting it for under $600 a month. And, you know, there's a restaurant, you know, coffee bar, you know, it's just crazy luxury. I live like a rock star now compared to what I do back home. I mean, although I'm nice back home too, but
so when you come to Southeast Asia and you stay in off season, it's much cheaper. So what's the difference? Is it $600 in the winter and the summer?
Yeah, I signed a lease until next May, because I plan to be here through next May, and then, like I say, Minnesota, I really only want to be there in the summer months now. My goal, although it didn't work out this year, I don't want to ever feel less than 50 degrees Fahrenheit again. But I did 40s because I went back too early. I went in April, and so I kind of got a taste of a little bit of cold back. And I went to other places in the United States to visit friends. That's the other thing. I go and I couch surf with friends and family and all over the country. You know, like my friends in Hawaii, Northern California, Pennsylvania, you know, Tennessee. So life's good.
Just curious, have you noticed that when you go back and you visit for a week or two, that if you will, people are happier to see you than if you live across the street and you're there? You're kind of like a rock star there too, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, the nice thing with technology now is, I'm on Facebook, and everybody kind of keeps up with me if they're on Facebook.
Right.
Or you can text and call. You know, I can't imagine 20 years ago, between Google Maps, Google Translate, but also this way you're still in touch with your old friends and stuff. We're still talking about the Vikings or whatever with my buddies, but you know, I'm here and I'm making new friends, and that's the biggest kick, Dan, I get out of traveling.
This ebook shares the 3 big mistakes that expats make when they retire overseas. To get a free copy, either scan this QR code with your smartphone or click the second link in the notes below this YouTube video.
That's the biggest kick, Dan, I get out of traveling is I just love meeting new people. Just even recently on this trip, I made a friend. I don't know how these will last, but one's from Sweden, 3 guys from Italy, a Frenchman.
When did this idea of being in a different place, when did this awaken in you?
I remember one time I went to a party, and I met this woman from Uruguay, and I said, well, when I retire, I'm thinking about doing this, so I'm going somewhere. And she said, go to Colombia. And I go, I ain't going there with all those drugs and stuff. And she go, no, they cleaned it up. And so that's what I did. I challenged myself, and I went to Cartagena. And actually, I met a woman. I went down there 2 more times that winter. So that was the first time, and it's like, I can do this. Got to take a leap of faith. And then, of course, looking at YouTube, so I looked you and a number of other people. You're my favorite. I looked at what you guys were doing, and it's like, you're showing me the way. You're clearing just even mentally giving me the confidence to go for it.
Yeah, that's great. You're retired now, aren't you?
Right.
Before all of this happened, what were you thinking your retirement would be?
You know, it's so funny. In my 60s, I've been the happiest ever, even when I was working in my 60s. So it wasn't just about work, not working or whatever. But without work, you don't have the work headaches, you know, that kind of stress.
Yeah.
But anyways, I like my job. But what happened, Dan, is Jimmy Buffett died, and it's like, crap, he's not that much older than me, and he had all the money and love in the world.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, I better get going, do something else, and enjoy my retirement. And longevity doesn't run in my family genes, but I'm going to change that. I don't want the party to end. This is a lot of fun. So I just kept working for a long time. I didn't mind it, and I had the best job ever at the end. And they said, stay as long as you want, Cliff. We love you. So, but it was time for me to go.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like you regret it either.
No. It's getting up. That other 5 days around the weekend makes a difference,
Yeah.
So having nothing. Sometimes it's a challenge trying to think, well, what can I do to be productive? Or I want to keep my brain sharp and stuff like that.
Right.
So, but traveling kind of does that, right? I mean, we have to figure out stuff, and even with like in Vietnam, there's less English, so you have to figure out what everyone's trying to communicate to you without words.
How do you do that?
Well, pantomime. I like to here. They often will show you the bill that you need to pay them.
Yeah.
And you just try to take their cues, physical, or whatever, sit down or whatever. I don't know. And then there's of course Google Translate. But getting back to technology, I don't see how people did this 20 years ago. Maybe when you started, Google Translate and Google Maps, it's just like, wow, it's so much easier in life. And then even booking things online, you don't have.
So have you noticed much difference in safety in the various places you've been? What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, people often when I leave, they go, is it safe? And I just laugh because America's the most dangerous place in the world. We have guns. There's crazy people on the street or they're on fentanyl or whatever the heck drugs they're on. So I've never had any issues except maybe over ambitious, vendors that are trying to hawk to you or something.
Yeah.
But that's about the worst case. And of course, I'm not out late anywhere, back home or here. Although the other night I couldn't sleep and I went out and got some water at 1 a.m. And the streets were empty, and then I felt safe. But anyways, I've never had an issue whatsoever with safety or where I've felt really concerned.
Right.
And and I think the Far East is probably safer than probably even Mexico or South America. Colombia, I wasn't sure, but I had somebody showing me around, so it helped.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't think safety's an issue at all. And if I was a woman traveler, I definitely feel safe in the Far East.
You mean like Southeast Asia?
Southeast Asia, yeah.
When did you leave the U.S. Started in Mexico, was it?
Yeah. So I spent 6 weeks in Mexico the first time. Last year was the Philippines. This year will be Thailand.
Right.
So I'm almost 68 now, so... Older.
You look great.
Older but no wiser. But
So have you, in any of these places, have you had a chance to go check out healthcare or dentist or?
Well, yeah. So in the Philippines, I had my teeth cleaned, and both times, different places, I had a dentist clean my teeth, not a hygienist, and they completely clean the teeth for like $25.
Yeah.
Thailand, I've heard, has good medical stuff. Although I had my checkups when I was back home, and I feel pretty good, so I don't know what I would do, but maybe go to a dermatologist. Sometimes I'm worried about, you see a little skin stuff because I'm fair skinned, but my Medicare supplement it pays for emergencies when I'm out of the country. So I figure I can self-fund, if I cut myself on coral or more likely a scooter accident, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little worried about that sometimes.
Wear a helmet.
Yeah, I know. And here, it's nice to ride people. At least they give you one of those little toy helmets.
If you go on Grab and get.
Oh yeah, Grab. Yeah. They give you at least a courtesy helmet, so you got something, So I'm tempted to get, just some sort of insurance, just to, make sure my bases are covered. Maybe we can talk after this. I think you have connections, But anyways, the way my supplemental plan is supposed to go, if there's an emergency, they'll reimburse me, and I figure I can self-fund. Everyone that's gone in has always been cheap. I saw a doctor one time. I had a chest cold that wouldn't go away, and this was in the Philippines on one of the islands, and it was $8 to see the doctor. Just show up, and the doctor saw me, and then it was like $30 for the meds.
Right, a lot of variables, but
yeah.
But most of the expats I run into are self-funded when they're overseas. Some keep their Medicare and just go home for checkups every other year or whatever.
I just have that as my security blanket. You know,
Yeah.
if something really did go bad wrong, I suppose I'd go home because, you know, I'd have family and friends to take care of me.
Absolutely, yeah. Does this seem permanent for you, and for how long? Like, how long will you be a snowbird?
Oh,
like
that's
this?
a good question. I told my renter, I actually bumped into him this last summer. We had a beer, but he's a good guy. He's from Canada, and he's a good tenant. You hear that, Jamie, if you're watching this? But I said, hey, why don't you do this for the next 10 years? Because he renewed, you know, but I thought about 5 years and then go and do that, you know, slow go where I go to one of my favorite spots. But now I'm feeling pretty good about it. So I want to do this at least 10 years. My goal is keep myself healthy, and I'm trying to exercise. I have nothing else to do. So in the morning now I'm walking, you know, an hour or two every day.
Oh, wow, great.
At the new condo, they got a big gym, and so I'll probably do some weights, I suppose. I've never done weight training, but I'll do in it shows, but I'm going to try and do it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you atrophy over time with age. But anyways, yeah, so next 10 years, I'm almost 68, so 78, 80, then maybe slow down a little bit. You know, at some point, Father Time always wins, but I'm going to fight it to the end.
You're going to milk that cow as
Yeah,
long
yeah.
as the milk's coming out, right?
Yeah.
Finish this sentence for me.
Okay.
Don't slow travel if you think it's going to be...
Easy. Nothing's easy in life. You don't get away with, even when you're retired, you don't get away with problems in life.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be problems, and you have to, which that's the challenge in life, is to figure out problems and solve them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not easy, but slow traveling, I think, seeing other areas is just wonderful. It works out perfectly for me. It might not for everybody. I can live with the unknown, and then also I have an advantage. I can make friends easy. So I can meet somebody on the bus stop or on a tour, and I can become friends with them. So yeah.
Do slow travel, or do live this snowbird lifestyle if you're looking for
adventure, new friends.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the fun things that I've done, you know, versus just staying home and doing the things I've done. I do a lot of fun things back home, don't get me wrong, and I love tailgating with my friends at ball games and stuff, but I've done that many times. So this is all new, you know, it's just all new adventures. And again, I get a kick out of meeting people. So when I make a new friend, that feels good to me.
Some people are motivated by going towards something, and other people are motivated by going away. Do you feel like you're going towards something with this lifestyle?
Yeah, I think more towards than away, because I noticed some expats last winter where I was living, they really wanted to beat up the home country or whatever. And to me, it's like, well, first, Minnesota is always regarded as a happy, good place to live.
Yeah.
So I'm blessed that way. So I don't have anything bad to really say about the States, except maybe our politics is crazy. But other than that, you know, I like where I'm from. So I'm not, and I love my kids and my family. I feel a little bit guilty about leaving my grandkids behind, because they, of course, change so much within 6 months, a year.
Yeah.
But other than that, so I'm running too. I want to run towards adventure and new experiences before, you know, I want to have fun before I die.
Yeah. Does it make you feel, in some ways, more alive when you're in all these places you've never been? And
yeah, I think so. I mean, it makes a better 𝗂𝐿. You know, when you get into just the grind and routine or something, it kind of seems boring a little bit to me. So, you know, I've been down many streets back home, but this is often, like right here today, is like, oh, this is new.
Yeah.
You know, I've never been here before. This is kind of nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember a good example for me is even when I've been in a town for a few years, when I'm going to go somewhere and I decide I'm going to walk, I'll walk a different path every time. I'll see a different house or a different cat on a roof or some funky mailbox or something. I'll just notice stuff around me. But if I walk that same path every day, I'm just in my head thinking about what I have to do, everything else.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So
yeah,
for me, I think living overseas has really given me, I don't know, it's like a constant learning experience somehow. And,
right.
It's really, like you said, it is challenging, but you know, figure out where you're going to live and where you're going to eat your next meal and all that stuff when you're in a new city.
Yeah.
But it's also what makes it interesting, you know, it's just figuring out all that stuff.
Right, right.
It's a lot of fun.
And sometimes, like where I live now, this week, right across the street, there's a street vendor out of her house or whatever. And so I've gotten, you know, she doesn't speak that much English, but, you know, we wave and we smile to each other, you know, so we're building some sort of bond, even though, you know, you know, in a day or two, I'll never see her again in the rest of my life. So, yeah.
A smile goes a million miles all over the world, doesn't it?
Right, right.
So, Cliff, I really want to thank you for coming on the channel and sharing your story.
Oh, you bet.
We really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks,
so
Dan.
much.
Nice to meet you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.